This is the ugly truth about vegetable oils. Everyone should know this information because vegetable oils are in 95% of processed foods, and most restaurants and fast food places cook with them. Buckle up, bestie. We're going for a wild ride. Once upon a time, vegetable oils were developed to lubricate machinery and fuel lamps, not for human consumption. But then, in 1911, soap maker Procter said to Gamble, "Ayo buddy, I got an idea. Let's try to sell this shit as edible." They decided to hydrogenate cottonseed oil and claim to the public that it was a heart-healthy cooking oil. They called it Crisco, and their slogan was, "It's digestible. 9 out of 10 doctors say so." This was 1911, so everyone at the time cooked with animal fats. They advertised Crisco as a more affordable and better tasting option to cook and bake with. Very quickly, America fell in love with Crisco. Now, here's where things get interesting. The American Heart Association was founded in 1924. You know, the people who are dedicated to fighting heart disease? Those guys. They were a very small, unpopular group until 1948, when they received their first big fund, a massive donation of $20 million in today's dollars from yours truly, Procter and Gamble, the makers of Crisco. This generous donation literally transformed this small group into a well-known national health organization. Throughout the 1940s and 50s, heart disease continued to rise and rise. So in 1961, the American Heart Association decided to put out a public recommendation to prevent heart disease. They recommended that men and women decrease their intake of saturated fat, animal fats, and to increase intake of polyunsaturated vegetable oils. And they said that this is the most promising protection against heart disease. They had no scientific evidence to back up this claim, but they did have a fat paycheck that did. This public recommendation went viral. Everyone took it to heart. And this is the narrative that they have been running with ever since. Vegetable oil, good for you. Saturated fats, bad for you. Everything that we have been taught is the truth about the world has been twisted and influenced by power and money. We've been raised on lies. In this world, you should have trust issues. And if you don't, you're not paying attention. Now, I ought to show you how vegetable oil is made because it's pretty fucking nasty.
A 70-minute wash with a solvent. This chemical extraction process removes all but a trace of oil. They wash the oil for 20 minutes with sodium hydroxide. After washing and filtering the oil, they bleach it to lighten the color. Then use a steam injection heating process to remove the canola odor. The oil is now fully refined and ready for bottling.
So this oil has been through a lot. Through this processing, any good fat that was in these oils has been destroyed and transformed into bad fat. These oils contain extremely high amounts of omega-6 fat, yet no omega-3 fat. Before vegetable oils were put in everything, humans naturally ate a ratio of about 1:1 or 2:1 of omega-6s to omega-3s. That's a good, healthy ratio. Now today, with the average American processed diet, these ratios are closer to 10:1 or even 20:1. Consuming too much omega-6 without being balanced by omega-3s causes inflammation in the body. The average American is eating these vegetable oils multiple times a day, always experiencing inflammation. And a chronically inflamed body is an unhealthy body, very susceptible to health issues. So this fat in the oils is called polyunsaturated fat. The problem with consuming excessive polyunsaturated fats is that these fats are susceptible to oxidation. So when they enter your body, they change your cells, and they make your cells more susceptible to oxidation that can easily be degraded to form harmful compounds called free radicals. Free radicals are not our fucking friends. Somehow I forgot to mention the infamous trans fat. Trans fats are created when vegetable oils are hydrogenated. Hydrogenated means that they stick hydrogen into the oils to solidify it. They do this to lengthen shelf life, improve texture, and taste. Now, trans fat is interesting because they could not hide from the public just how terrible it was for humans. It became public knowledge that trans fat was responsible for clogging arteries. In 2021, laws were put into place banning trans fat from food products. So at least they did that for us, right? They stopped using trans fat. Well, turns out they didn't. There's a little loophole in the food industry. Basically, if a serving of a product contains 0.5 grams or less of trans fat, they are allowed to round that number down to 0 on the label. Yes, 0.5 grams is a small amount, but most processed foods are not designed for us to just eat one serving. For some brands, one serving is like 12 chips. Who the fuck is gonna eat just 12 chips? If we're indulging, we may eat 5 servings. And at 5 servings, that is 2.5 grams of artery clogging trans fat that you thought was 0. So if a product has hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated vegetable oil in it, just know that there are secret trans fats in there. Let's talk about the healthier alternatives. Organic, cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil. The extraction process of olive oil is super simple. The olives are crushed and the oil is separated from the pulp in a centrifuge. That's it. Extra virgin is, of course, the least processed. That is what we covet. Instead of oxidizing fast in the body, olive oil actually contains antioxidants. And rather than creating inflammation in the body, olive oil has anti-inflammatory properties. Beautiful. Speaking of olive oil, check this out. Here is a popular margarine today, Becel. It's basically just vegetable oils, salt, and preservatives. Now here's one of their margarine varieties, made with olive oil. Wow, that's the good oil we were just talking about. It must be healthy then. Well, if we take a look at the back, we can see that actually 74% of it is vegetable oils and only 6% is olive oil. That deserves an A+ on the false advertising. Wow. What does it say there? Becel takes your health to heart. That is so fucked up. Sadly, multiple studies over the years have shown that a lot of extra virgin olive oil in grocery stores is not what it says it is.
No!
Some of them are simply not extra virgin, while others are actually cut with cheap vegetable oils. If you want to, you can screenshot these tips here on how to buy real, authentic olive oil. Another healthy alternative is coconut oil. Again, cold pressed, unrefined, extra fucking virgin. Like olive oil, it is very minimally processed, contains antioxidants, and unlike vegetable oil that actually slows our metabolism down, coconut oil can actually speed up metabolism. As a health nut, cutting out vegetable oils is my biggest recommendation for people who want to improve their health. If you eat a lot of processed food though, and you eat out a lot, it is going to be challenging. It's going to require a lot more home-cooked meals. But if you want to improve your health and vitality, it is worth it. Love you. Bye.